tonight, and then as we're driving here, Marty, as he does, says to me, "Oh, did I tell you the MC can't make it?" And I went, "No, you didn't." So you're stuck with listening to me again. But yeah, thank you, Marty. I did have a couple of notes that I've made before I was going to hand over to the MC, so if you do bear with me, please. I'd just like to welcome everybody to Northcote Tigers' 105th Senior Prize Giving. A warm welcome to our invited guests, our sponsors, our executive committee, players and partners, coaching and management staff of our 3 senior teams, and parents and supporters, our non-committee but volunteers, Ray and Sue Jensen and David Close and Kayla Tierney, invited guests. Thank you very much for the work you do as volunteers. Just while 3 teams might not seem a lot compared to some of the years when we've had excuse me, our prize givings, I do want to say that it doesn't diminish the occasion or the award winners tonight. And I think anyone that wins a club award, if you are to look at the names that are on some of these trophies, there's some really, there's a lot of history there and some really names that will speak for itself, and is a testament to what a great club that we are. We plan to continue to be a great club, and with the depth of talent that we have within our ranks, I'm confident that we're in good stead, and we have a better platform to enable us to do that by still being in the Fox. So, that's a huge thing for us. Obviously, we can't just rest knowing that that's where we are, and we are hoping to appoint and hopefully recruit and retain players. And we're looking forward to 2016 season. We've already got under 16, 17 team there. They're sort of already, we haven't had, aside from our under 20s, we haven't had another junior team this year, which has been the first time in I don't know how many years. So, that's a real concern to us. It makes us borderline to being constitutional, and so we're already doing something about that. If anyone's got any feedback or anything that they want to pass on to committee, please feel free to come and speak to any one of us. Send us an email or whatever. We're keen to hear and do what we can to, make your experience here at Tigers a better one. I'd personally like to congratulate all the nominees and the award winners, and thank everyone for your continued support. Just some housekeeping before I get on to the ceremony itself. Just in regards to, if you win a club award, you're welcome to take photos and what have you with them here tonight, but they don't leave the club. Obviously, as I said, 105 years, none of these trophies are 105 years old, but a lot of them are extremely old, and we can't afford to lose them. So please leave those here. You're welcome to come back at any time if you want to have a photo with it. Feel free to do that. And I think some of you, it would be good to see some of the seniors tomorrow at the schoolboy prize giving. That's up here from tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So if anyone can get along to that, that'd be much appreciated. Right, moving on to the prize giving. The guests that we've got here tonight, I'd just like to acknowledge our vice patron, Millie Huna. Millie's our vice patron. We've got apologies from our other patron, Irene Lloyd. She's quite sick and couldn't make it. And of course, I mentioned Ray and Sue and David and Kayla from Body Zone. So first of all, I want to start off the prize giving by calling up or acknowledging our representative players this season, and I'll call up our club captain to. Okay, so first of all, our first recipient is the 2015 Auckland Under-18s, Josh Farrant. Our 2015 2015 Auckland Under-21s, Trent Shonkel. 2015 Auckland Under-19s, James Johnson. 2015 Auckland Under-21s, Trent Shonkel. 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 2015 Auckland Our 2015 Ekarana Premiers, Taylor Daniels. Levi Norton. Trent Shonko. Iko Malu. Levi McBurney. And Morgan Timothy Cook. Moving on, these are from the 2014 Auckland Māori representatives. They played after last year's prize giving, and that's Sam Cook, Taylor Daniels and Levi Norton. Our 2015 New Zealand Under-18s, Josh Farrant. If you wear your medals, you'll get $3 drinks. 2015 New Zealand Māori residents, Taylor Daniels. 2015 New Zealand Warriors Under-20s, Levi McBurney. And at 2015 New Zealand Warriors Reserve Grade, Sam Cook, David Barner, Levi Norton and Taylor Daniels. Well, thank you, Marty. Okay, so we're going to move on to, just if you haven't been to one of these before, club awards. So now I'd like to call up the coach and manager of the Under-20s, Jeff and Bailey Morton. Bailey? Oh, you're crook. Sorry. Oh, you're ill. Sorry, crook. Put your
I'd just like to thank everybody for their support this year. The boys really appreciate it. To the boys, thanks for your efforts all year. It's been a pleasure. And just quickly, just one person in particular. He only played 11 of our 17 games this year. He was out for 6 with injury. But the leadership that he showed during the year from start to finish, and that's on and off the field, was fairly outstanding. We had I don't know, the club probably know, but we had a little drama on the night after our semi-final, which wasn't a biggie, but it was enough. The club got a little bit upset about it, which was fair enough. And this gentleman, who's our captain, was the first person to tell me about it on Tuesday night. I heard it from him before I heard it from the club. And his leadership with the team, the way he went with the team, he trained with the team during this. He was out 6 weeks, 7 weeks with a broken hand. I'd just like to acknowledge young Manny Boy. And he came back for, I think he got 2 games prior to the semis, led the team into the final, and ended up being man of the match, so it wasn't a bad year. Well done.
And just for anybody that doesn't know, the Auckland Rugby League had their awards last week, I think, the senior awards, and Jeff got the Auckland Rugby League Under-20 grade Coach of the Year. And the team picked up the International Grade Team of the Year for the Under-20, so Northcote Tigers. We have some silverware for our trophy cabinet. Right, moving on to their team awards. So the Coaches and Managers Award is shared this year between Thomas Sharp and Josh Farrant. The most dedicated goes to Sam Courts. Top try scorer with 25 tries goes to Troy Leo. So the most consistent player, which is a sponsors trophy, is shared with Winton Young and Liam Lonergan. Player of the Year, which is the Northcote Tigers trophy, is Troy Leo. The best and fairest player, Raymond Legg. The Player of the Year, which is the Northcote Tigers trophy, he scored 257 points this season, was Benjamin McIntyre. And the Tiger of the Year for the under-20s, Xavier Rice. Okay, so we've just got a presentation. Oh, you can start if you don't mind, please. We've just got a presentation for the team for winning the grand final. So if you can just bear with me because there is quite a list of names, but we've got unbeknown to us, and I haven't actually seen it yet, but there was somebody there on the evening who does films games, and so we've got a DVD for each of you of the grand final. And there's can you mind holding it up, please? I think they're cool. Apparently they're not, Taylor tells us, but I think they're cool. And then on the back it's got that they're grand final winners. So there's one of those for each of you as well. I've seen how tame these is, and I know you cut them all up, but you can do with it what you like, but hopefully you'll wear it with pride. So just for the team, Ben McIntyre, just come up and grab a t-shirt, guys, and a DVD each. Ben McIntyre, Dwayne Smith-Pisa, Thomas Sharp, Troy Leo, James Waterson, Josh Farrant, Gustin Fafita, Tyler Wallace, Liam Lonergan, Winton Young, William McCarthy, Xavier Rice, Raymond Legg, Sam Courts. You might just need to take and then what's sort outside. Yes. So grab the do you want to come up and get them? No, I'm going to call out your names anyway. So Phoenix Thayers, Leo Kayo, Griffin Solomons, Ruben Murray, Carlos Rudolph, Tane Nehor, Manaki Kortua, Tane Martin, Johnny Darkwell, Jonathan Davey, and Natana McLean-Nielsen. So that was our under-20s. Okay, moving on to our Premier First, I'd like to call up Wayne Harding and Jason Camarada, please.
We don't train, we just play on
Saturday's just, turn up, bro. Good work, guys. Mid-table, so if you put in more equipment, you'll be in the top 4. But congratulations to the 20s, that's just good shit. Well done, guys. He's disappeared. I said to him about 5 minutes ago, you're going to do a speech, JK, and he's disappeared, so. But you're a good bunch of players in the reserves, and a heavy play top side as well. We're still in the first division, that's all that matters at the moment.
Thanks, Mike. So moving on to the team awards for the Premier First. The most dedicated, which is the Eke Northcote Trophy, goes to Ricky Lane. And now he's coming. Coaches and Managers Award, Ethan Jones. The Players Player Award, which is the 100% Reserve Grade Cup, Alex Cossey. So the Best and Fairest Player, which is the Northcote Tigers Trophy, Lennon Kayo. So the Most Valuable Player, which is the Northcote Tigers Trophy, Sage McGilly. And the Tiger of the Year for the Premier Firsts, Nick Lithgow. Thanks, Wayne. Okay, so moving on to the premiers, I'd like to call up the coach, Mark Elia.
Thanks everyone. First of all, I was in Australia with the under-20s. I was on Twitter following the game. Just congratulations to the boys. Seeing you train across the way there, looking at your dedication and you got the rewards. And the final was tough, but team spirit. Boys, looking at your head tonight, got you through. So something you always remember. So congratulations to the 20s. First of all, I'll just get thank yous out of the way for the year. I was just going to kind of rush through it, but I think probably, a lot of people put efforts in throughout the year, so I apologise before if I forget someone. But first of all, I'd just like to thank everyone for the year. I'd like to thank coaches Seth, Dave Mack, Andy Flint as well. I mentioned to Jeff at the beginning of the year, thanks a lot, mate, for sorting out the training in the pre-season when I was away. Really like to make a special mention for Graham Norton and the sponsorship, and was fortunate enough to get the lead of the car. And there's videos throughout the year. Dave Close in his team, thanks Dave. I think we can't survive without Shano. I'm used to organising lots of stuff and, for the team by myself, but with Nikki Wallace I didn't have to do any of that at all. She's awesome as a manager, thank you. So I thank the committee for the opportunity and the privilege. It's always a privilege to coach a first grade or a premier side for any club, town, So I really am thankful for an opportunity to do that. So Bobby, Marty, Ray, all the committee, thank you very much. Also Taylor and all the boys, it was, they say it was a tough year. It was, I think, really hard. I'm brand new. I didn't know anyone here, apart from a few memories of 25 years ago. And I've used 40 players, so that's going to affect, use 40 players for the first. The general game plan for the year was spend the first round to use all the players, and then the second round to kind of just make, don't make any forced changes. So that was kind of for me to get to see everyone, what I thought everyone could offer. So I don't apologise for that. That's just the way. And then for me to get able to see. So we probably, I really believe that there was an effort in every game. I honestly believe, from what I've been fortunate enough to have quite a bit of experience, and I just believe that there was an effort from the players every game. So there's no real reason for me to go silly and go crazy, and I just generally thought there was an effort. It would be nice to kind of win a few more games. So we beat Otara a couple of times. A good win against Lenora, good win at the beginning of the year, a good draw which was probably significant in the long run. But I'd like to think that there's some building blocks there, especially with the under-20s, especially with, I've just come back in, so I've been 20 years in Australia in a country competition which is quite strong, probably Fox equivalent. And to me, all the clubs here are very similar. They're all very much a power game. If we as a club can, just all of a sudden maybe take on fitness or take on another, it's all about power. Even right up through to the Warriors. It's all, we're producing power sides, but sometimes the power, too much power, camouflages other facets of the game. And if we could get 20% fitter than every other side, I think all of a sudden, if we could get strength to compete with other sides. But if we just decide as a team and as a club there's potential. What else have I here? Just another observation. You take it for what you want. I think throughout the year, throughout all the years of the last few years, you've had a lot of players come and go. If you could keep 90% of the players of this year, if you could come around and play again next year, we can build on that. And I think I think a lot of coaches will come in and they have all plans on having you, and then all of a sudden half the players don't play. So then you've got to start again. If there's a plea there for most of the players to go again, and with new players, and with maybe some newer contracted players, there's a good chance of, because I think we're going to be top 4. Another thing too, just quickly, another thing is that I was fortunate to be a part of Northcote winning 4 Foxes in a row 20 odd years ago. Jeff Lawton, David McIntosh, and coach up there, Graham Norton, and supporters, and we were fortunate, and we're proud of that. As you guys will be proud in 20 years' time of your achievements. But there's one side that's got a chance of knocking that off next year. Poinchette. So that's a big thing. Like in the whole history of the Fox, our club is the only club that's got 4 in a row. So there's an aim, there's something that people can aim for. That's why not knock them off? Why not? Why not keep that for another 20 odd years, 105 years, probably, or whatever. So just say thanks very much. Self personally, I feel that the building blocks have been brought in. Not too sure what's happening next year. We're going to talk to the club, see what happens. If hopefully things work out, I get another go. If not, just wish everyone all the best. And I'm sure if we, bump into each other, just say good day. Cheers.
Okay, so the first award for the Premiers goes for the most supportive partner, which is the Stuart Galbraith Trophy, and that's shared this year with by Rangimaria Wilson Penny and Casey Brinley. So the Premier's Cup for the Supporter of the Year, this year it's also shared, and it's shared between Millie Hunter and Peter Greaves. So the Coaches and Managers Award, which is the Northcote Tigers Cup. The most dedicated player, which is the Andre Novosel Shield, goes to Nick Lithgow. So the most consistent player, which is the Jenkins Trophy, goes to Iko Mamu. So the Players Player, which is the Gary Freeman Trophy, goes to Levi Norton. The Best and Fairest Player, which is the Ron Rosser Memorial Trophy, goes to Andre Iro. He's back in Rara, I'm told. It sounds like hell. The Man of Steel Award, which is the Premier's Man of Steel Trophy, goes to Taylor Daniels. Okay, so the Player of the Year, which is the Northcote Tigers Cup, goes to Levi Norton. And the Tiger of the Year for the Premiers this year, the Northcote Tigers Tiger, is Taylor Daniels. Thanks, Mark. Okay, so just moving on to the next award. We've got a technical glitch because the PowerPoint that we had a whole lot of photos, and the 3-2-1s were going to be updated on that. We've got a glitch and that won't work. Yeah, so rather than go through the So for the 3-2-1 awards, I'll ask Millie to come up here and do the presentation. So people should be familiar, well you may or may not be, so just to give you a little bit of an overview, every week Millie would get 3 different people to do, hang on, can we have a drum roll? Okay, so just to recap, every week for the Premier Games, Millie would get 3 people to do a 3-2-1 award, and each week we would open 2 envelopes here at prize giving, and then there was a mystery envelope. So I've got, if anyone from the Premiers wants to see, how your points and all the rest of it worked out, I can, it's up here, but we're not going to go through them all the way, so I'm just going to give you the top 10, starting from number 10 and working our way backwards. Okay, so they don't just get a ball, there's $500 cash that goes with this prize. And the recipient just needs to see Nikki at the end of the prize giving to get that cash prize. So number 10 on 16 points was Nathan Stockman. Number 9 on 18 points, Jordan McLaughlin. On 20 points was Surla Peter and Levi McBurney. On 21 points was Taylor Daniels. On 24 points was Andre Iro. On 26 points, Eko Malu. On 27 points was Levi Norton. Runner-up was Trent Shonkel on 29 points. And the winner on 32 points was Matt Tuffington. And thanks Millie for organising it every week. Did you want to say something, Matt? No, I won't make you do that. Thanks Millie. And like I said, the points and the mystery envelopes and everything, if anyone wants to scrutinise it, whatever, you're welcome to. Right, so moving on to the club awards now, and for the next 3 awards, I'd like to call up one of our key volunteers who also has been our club match manager for the last few years, which is a great responsibility and a huge relief for the committee that we've got somebody that's so good doing it, and that's Ray Jensen. So, call her. So we're going to, and Ray's been a recipient of this award before, so it's fitting that he does this. So this is the Tigers Centenary Committee Trophy for Volunteer of the Year, and this year it goes to David Close. Hey. The Northcote Tigers Trophy for Manager of the Year this year goes to Bailey Morton. And the Tigers Trophy for Coach of the Year goes to Jeff Morton. Thanks, Ray. And just while Ray's leaving, Marty's just told me that Ray's been posted to Wellington, so next season, so we're not going to have him as a match manager, which is sad. Thanks for your services though, Ray and Suey, and it goes beyond match managing. There's always here to set up the fields and help pull them down as well. So thanks for everything. All the best. Suey, are you going to Wellington? Suey, are you going to Wellington too? No. You're not? Okay. Do you want a match manager's job? Okay. So next I'd like to call up Steve McCarthy from our Executive Committee to do the next couple of awards for me, please. And so with these ones, just to explain, hey, whoever the choir, please, these are the major club awards, and if you don't be quiet, you might not hear. So what happens for these awards are the coaches and managers for each team make a nomination, and then obviously there's a overall recipient. So I'll call out the nominees for each award and then announce the winner. So for the Munro Cup, which is for club incentive, the nominees were Ethan Jones and Daniel Fafita, and the winner was Ethan Jones. Okay, and the Chairperson's Award, which is for the most consistent senior player, the nominees were Winton Young, Liam Lonergan, Matt Phillips and Thomas Sharp. And Andre Edo and Iko Malu, and the winner is Andre Edo. Thank you, Steve. Sorry, sharing the love, getting Shane up next to your couple. Shane, as well as all the work that he does for the premiers and everything, he's also on our executive committee. So, Shane, if you'd like to come up and do the next couple of awards, please. Quiet, please. Is the Cook Family Cup for the most dedicated senior player. The nominees this year were Sam Courts, Liam Lonergan, Ricky Lane, Nick Lithgow, and the most dedicated senior player this year is shared by Ricky Lane and Nick Lithgow. Okay, the next award is for club sportsmanship. The nominees for this award were Matt Phillips, Nick Lithgow, Nathan Stockman and Raj here, and the winner is Matt Phillips. Thanks, Shane. So the next awards, I'd like to call up our club secretary, Rian Hawani, to do these awards, please. This is a new award that we just organised for this year, and we thought it was important to acknowledge a Rookie of the Year. So the Rookie of the Year is people who made their first appearance in our first grade team. So the Rookie of the Year nominees this year, and these are all our rookies who played first grade: Levi McBurney, Andre Ito, Nalu Turigamala, Lance Pereira, Alex Cossey, Christian Ulukita, Leon Kaio, Richard Brown, Chris Griffiths, Xavier Rice, and Chris Leahy. And the winner this year is Levi McBurney. Next award is the Bricks Charitable Trust Club. It's the player with the most potential. So there's a few nominees for this one as well. The nominees are Troy Leo, Xavier Rice, Thomas Sharp, Ben McIntyre, Matt Phillips, Alex Cossey, Lance Pereira, Levi McBurney, and Trent Shonkel. And the winner, the player with the most potential, Trent Shonkel. So moving on to the Skinner Cup, which is for the most outstanding player. The nominees for this award were Troy Leo, Ben McIntyre, Sage McGilly, Levi Norton, Taylor Daniels, and Nico Malu. And this year the award is shared between Nico Malu and Troy Leo. Maybe you can take it, or you can hold on to the one afterwards. Maybe when the lighting's better, or Graham's videoing. Okay, the National Club Trophy, which is for the best and fairest player. The nominees for this award were Raymond Legg, Tyler Wallace, Lennon Kaio, Andre Ito, and Iko Malu, and the best and fairest player for 2015, Tyler Wallace. So the last two awards that we've got for the evening are, they're all great in their own right, but these probably are the two most prestigious awards that we have in the club, and I'd like to call up the club president, Ray Sarley, to present these.
Not a lot of you probably know me. I played with some of your parents. Some of your parents have actually coached me. I've been around for a little bit. I'm in between. And I'm giving back to the club. So hopefully you guys can do the same thing next season and come back and make us all make it a better club, because that's what we're all about. And it was really good to see the under-20s on this year. It was me. It was awesome. And it was good club support too. But and paying it forward from me, I'd like to see you guys, maybe a couple of you tomorrow as well, because for the little kids, it's their prize giving tomorrow, and if you see some older faces and you know what they're all about, it's quite inspiring for these little kids too, so if you can turn up, that'd be pretty cool.
Thank you. Okay, so the Northcote Tigers trophy for Player of the Year, there were two nominees. They were Ben McIntyre and Levi Norton, and this year, 2015 Player of the Year is Levi Norton. Okay, moving on to our final award of the evening. Thanks everybody for your being quiet and your attention. And, So this is the Northcote Tigers Tiger of the Year. The nominees this year were Xavier Rice, Nick Lithgow and Taylor Daniels, and the 2015 Tiger of the Year, Taylor Daniels.
Yeah, that's not all that true, but geez, I start first of all, I'd just like to thank the club and the committee for putting tonight on. I know there's not too many teams, but for us, it really does mean something. It's good to get together, have a little catch up. It's to our supporters, our stalwart supporters, Millie, Pete, Hone, parents, and extended family, all the players' family, means a lot having you guys there every week, and we do see you out there, screaming at us and just egging us on. To our staff, Mark, I know it's been hard yet, but it's been good having something new, in our team and our club. And not everything worked out this year, but hopefully next year it might. Mum, can't say enough about Mum. Also, I'd like to thank Dave and Taylor. Pretty much this year, I've been able to play half there without you guys. Especially you, Dave. Sorting me out with everything, and just it's awesome to have you with us. To you boys. I've already told you what you guys are like, and you guys bring something different to our club, something that we haven't had for a long time, something that we don't really have. But sort of have it, but not quite. And it's real good to see you guys like that. And congratulations again on you guys winning this year. You guys are the top 20s team in Auckland, so pretty much you guys are top 20s team in New Zealand. So, to the boys, this is my first year as captain ever, so it was always going to be a little bit hard for me. I don't really know how to how to swear at you all that much, and try my best, but you guys know what I'm like, and that's just how it goes. But it's been a tough year for us, but we've always stuck in there together. Like Mark said before, our effort's always been there, and we can't let that pass us. And we have been tight this year, but moving forward, it's really those little 1%ers, like that extra 20, like Mark said, those little 1%ers. So it's pretty much, I know we've got a lot of things. This to you guys as well coming up next year. So those little things like getting pre-season. I know a lot of the boys have summer sports and stuff, but if we really want to compete next year, then what we've got to do, we've got to turn up to pre-season. We've got to turn up and be there and want to be there. So what do you guys think about that? And just thank the club for the night, and cheers.
Miss Taylor, and you know, I can't reiterate enough how important it is to see all of you back again next year in 2016 for bigger and better things, hopefully. So enjoy the rest of the evening, and hopefully we'll see you all again next season.